Okay, so there you have it. Just getting on a few joints back to back. Room number 1, Universal Show. Okay, so I love it. I love it. My guest is bright and early, man. I love this. Let me just get a little mic check on yours.
Yeah, you good.
Is it? You were good? We're good.
Let me check. 1 2 1 2. This sounds good to me.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Can we get him up higher a bit? Yep.
There we go.
That's much
like
better. I was just getting on a few joints back to back just to ease you in on a Saturday morning. Definitely want to say good morning and welcome to another installment of the Universal Show. And there was a little demon trying to get around in the studio as well. They're here. They always do this, You know when the fire's too much?
Just a little.
Yeah. When the fire's too much, they try to invade.
They try to silence you.
Yeah. They're like, stop this. You know what I mean? You're playing too much new shizzle. Stop it, man. But listen, we're officially room number 1. And as you know, every now and then, Saturday morning's always an element of surprise. We get guests in the building from the world of music, entertainment, just come and showcase what's good. We got a young gentleman in the studio all the way over from Canada this morning, and he's here just to shed some light about what's going on in the world where he stands.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Could you introduce yourself this morning, please?
Absolutely. I go by the name of Thelonious. I'm a rapper from Toronto, Rexdale to be exact. Shout out to Rexdale. And we're here in London town.
Wow. Welcome to the show, bro. Thanks for coming so early in the morning. So,
Thanks for having me.
Did you get here all right, though?
Yeah, this time zone switch is crazy. But we made it, though. We made it.
And the weather's crazy. I mean, usually we get like bad storms around, October, November, but it's just been mad for the last few months.
I expected it, though. My auntie lives out here. She said it's a damp place. But I expected it, but it's still wild.
Yo, it's crazy. But listen, you got here safely. Because, do you know what? In the past, I used to moan about if artists come late or, do you know what I mean? No, I don't worry about it no more. My thing, as long as you get here safely.
Absolutely.
That's more important.
And rappers, we be late all the time, but I'm the early rapper.
It is what it is. I mean, that's like secondary. We don't really care about that no more. You're here safe. You're in the building. So welcome to the UK.
Thanks for having me.
Is it your first time here?
This is my first time. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, so how long you been here?
I've been here maybe like a week, almost a week.
How do you find it?
I love it. I'm out here with my team, my producer, Cabby96, my engineer, Krim.
Okay, we got the team. They're in the building. Yep. Nice to have you here. And we've got the man himself, the industry mogul.
Yes,
Stucky.
sir.
I'll be speaking to him a lot later. Yeah, no problem. So welcome to the show. This show, we highlight well-established artists, also up-and-coming artists as well. I feel like, we have very limited platforms, especially here in the UK, in London, where artists of your magnitude, doing what you're doing, can come and showcase what they're actually doing. So it's such an honor and pleasure to have you here. So what we're going to do, right, Thelonious, we're going to take it back to basics with you.
Okay.
Obviously, you're going to have people online that are very aware of what you do, but then you've got all the virgin listeners.
Okay.
They don't know nothing about you.
Absolutely.
So let's take them back to basics. All right. Because obviously you didn't just get up and become a rapper. There was a building process.
Absolutely.
So take me back to a young Thelonious. And before, excuse my ignorance, is that your actual name?
That is my actual name. No. I get that a lot, actually. That's a fair question. Actually, this leads into your question about back to basics. So I was raised in a very musical household.
Right.
My pops played keys. My mom sang vocals growing up. So I'm named after Thelonious Monk, the legendary jazz pianist.
Okay.
And yeah, I grew up with music always in the house. When I was about 9 years old was the first time I tried to do it myself. At the time, I wanted to be a hooper. I wanted to be the best hooper in the world. That obviously didn't happen.
Yeah.
And music just was something I did for fun at the time. But when I was around 16, I decided that I wanted to do this and been going hard ever since.
What was it that made you, the light bulb come on and say, right, I want to do music?
Yo, really? I did both of them at the time. I loved doing both, like hooping and making music. But at the time, music was just fun. And I don't know, it just called me a little louder at the time. And I was just like, I know this is what I want to do. So that's really what it was.
So where are you from in Canada?
From Rexdale.
Rexdale. So is that what's the kind of, What's the vibe? What kind of community they got there?
It's a big hooping community. It's got the best food in the city too. Shout out, hey man, you're just gonna have to live with it. But
Are you just being biased, or is that a fact?
it's a fact. It's a fact. If you come to Toronto, come to Rexdale for the food. Don't go to the east.
Okay.
But yeah, we're on the west side of the city.
Yeah.
A lot of basketball culture.
Diverse community.
Pretty diverse.
Yeah,
A lot of Jamaicans. A lot of Africans where I'm from. A lot of It's very diverse. Canada's just very diverse in general.
100%. So obviously you said you grew up around your parents who were very musical, but outside of that, you know, obviously you've got into hip hop, it's fair to say. What was like the influence around you at the time outside of what your parents were listening to?
Oh man. Well, my introduction to hip hop when I was that age at first was like Biggie and Pac, because that's what my dad listened to.
Right.
And a little bit of like what my sister used to listen to, because that's just what I heard in the house as far as hip hop. So my first favorite rapper was Tyga, because that's what my sister listened to.
Okay.
And that's what I thought rap was.
Right,
but then when I was like a little bit later, maybe like 10, I first heard rappers like J. Cole or like, you know, the Kendrick Lamars or whoever it was. Like that's when I first heard them. And I was like, like these guys are telling real stories that I can relate to. And this is something that like identifies more with me. So then that became a thing. And then I started entering rap battles when I was like 9 or 10 with my friend at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Rap battles?
Yeah, rap battles online.
So how old were the peers?
They were adults. This was like online. Yeah.
That's
I had a
crazy.
goal at the time. I was saying this the other day. I had a goal at the time because there was this app and there was a lot of people on this app. And there was a leaderboard that only showed the top 500. And I'm like, yo, I'm 10 years old. I'm trying to just all I want is to be on the top 500 so people can see my name.
Wow, I love that.
I got to like 530 something and then they discontinued the app. And I was like, yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
gotta look.
So I'm going to say then you're very confident at 9 years old to say like, I'm going to enter rap battles along adults.
Yep.
You're talking about over 18s, 20-year-olds. No, where did that confidence come from?
I didn't even think about it at the time. I was just like, I'm just going to do this. Like, I wasn't like, there was no like sense of like, maybe I shouldn't or maybe I can't. I was just like, we're doing this.
Right. Okay. So like, obviously, we've got so many different regionals of raps. We've got the Midwest. You've got East Coast, West Coast. Was there a particular style that you was always listening to? Yes, you've mentioned a few rappers that you listened to, but was there a certain sound that you gravitated towards that you thought, do you know what, that might be the direction I would steer my career to?
100%. When I was younger, especially when I was getting into hip hop, like when I decided it's what I wanted to do, I had this like super deep like music history like period where I was just super into like especially the history of hip hop, and I really learned like everything there was to learn. And I was a heavy New York 90s New York rapper.
Okay.
Like I love just the dirty grimy drums. That was my whole thing.
Yeah. Particular rappers that stand out? Any outfits?
Mos Def was one of my favorites.
Mos Def, okay.
Mobb
Okay.
Deep. Tribe Called Quest was a big one. Diggable Planets too, because I grew up on them.
Okay.
I gotta name at least one more. I don't want to say big. I mean, Wu-Tang Clan, Biggie, like Busta Rhymes, like I can go on forever.
And you know what's interesting in that, because obviously you look a lot younger than probably what I think you are, but you know, black don't crack, right? But
I know that's true.
But you do look young.
Uh-huh.
So some of the names you're mentioning have been around over 30 years, still prominent to this day. How important is it for you to think, you know what, how do I go on a journey but sustain a career as opposed to a moment?
Okay, I love that first thing you said. I'm about to get passionate. The first thing I'm gonna say is just about that point. It's kind of like a side tangent from the what you're saying, but I think hip hop is the only genre that I know where we don't always give the same credit to learning your history and respecting the legends.
Why
I think
is
it's
that?
one of the. I don't understand it.
Why is
personally?
that? Yeah,
I don't get it. Like a lot of the rappers that I respect do, but I feel like there's a certain sense of. There's some people who don't like see that as an important thing. I've never met a jazz musician that doesn't want to learn their history.
Absolutely.
And just learn where the music comes from. So to answer your question, I think that kind of helped me like understanding one, how music sounded all across the world and why it sounded that way when it first started, because hip hop is young. Yeah. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So just learning my entire history and understanding all the styles and really figuring out like what I like and what I want to sound like. That was the first thing, like learning what my identity is as an artist. That was the first thing. And really just doing everything that, for me, it was just doing everything that it took to, one, get like to where I wanted to get to. I've always known that this is what I wanted to do.
Right.
So it was just always doing what I had to do, never taking no for an answer, but always being honest and doing the work like that needs to be done. Even if it's the work that you don't want to do.
Absolutely.
That's the most important
Well, you've raised
part.
a couple of points that I wanted to bring out eventually throughout the conversation. So if you've just logged on right now, we've got Thelonious in the studio
Peace.
this morning right here at JusCoolRadio.com. Do you know what it is? When you mention your name, and obviously it is your name, I was actually thinking like a biblical reference as well. I don't know why, it just seems like a name that you'd hear in the Bible.
I hear that a lot, actually.
You hear that as well?
I hear that a lot.
People have said that.
Mm-hmm.
It just it's got that kind of, you know what I mean, religious tone or to it. But I love the name. It's unique.
Yo, for real, honestly,
to my knowledge, I don't know anybody with that name.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes there's another name that flashes up. I haven't heard that name.
Yo, for real, it's just I couldn't think of a cool rap name, so I was just like, let's just go with this, and it worked.
What does it mean?
I think it actually is a some reference to the Bible.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
I have an idea of what it is, but I don't want to say it and it be wrong, so I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to make my mom mad. But I do have an idea of what it means.
It's just got like that kind of biblical connotation to
does.
it. I can hear it.
It definitely does have a biblical connotation. I just don't remember exactly like what the words are that it means.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, can you remember? Now, this is what I wanted to ask you. Can you remember your first set of bars? Do you actually write?
I write everything.
So you write everything. Because obviously the reason why I asked that, because a lot of rappers will correct me and say, well, no, I don't write. I'm like, whoa. So that's another thing as well, which is another skill. Right? But so you write. Can you remember the first stuff you actually wrote down?
I can't remember fully the first thing that I wrote when I was like 9. It wasn't that great either. I remember vaguely like my first like line that was like, oh, like I really did something. Like, cause for real, like even when I was doing the rap battle stuff, I was very confident and I knew that I was good, but I wasn't that good until I feel like when I was like 19 and I like started going outside and like rapping outwardly on stage and in ciphers was when I was like, okay, I actually like now I really, really know what I'm doing. But there were a lot of whack bars that led up to me getting to that point. But I do vaguely remember my first set of bars.
What was usually your context? What were things that you kind of driven to?
Well, when I first started, it was like it almost sounded like knockoff 80s, 90s bars. Like me trying to do my best like Curtis Blow or Run DMC when I started out. But when I really like found like, okay, what I actually want to talk about, like the reality stuff, like my real life, I would say, I mean, that's really what it was. It was just like hearing rappers like J. Cole or rappers like Kendrick or the Joeys who are like just talking about their real life situation. It was just like, I'm a hooper and they're not showing me the love that I deserve. It was like stuff that was going on at home. It was just talking about my real life.
Now, obviously, they say that words are power. People have freedom of speech. Is there any topics or things that you would choose to never address in your rhymes?
Okay, I have a funny answer first, and then I'll have a real. The funny answer is there's stuff that. So, I feel like Cavi gonna be upset at me for saying this, but I feel like there's so much stuff I can't talk about because I get compared to J. Cole so much because I look, because of the look. Right. So like the basketball stuff, I will never, because it's just the easiest way for me to become like baby J. Cole to so many people. So that like there's certain stuff that I wouldn't talk about. For real though, like I do feel like there's stuff like in my personal life that I want to keep just for me.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like the deeper I get into chasing this music thing and actually doing it, the more like I develop a sense of wanting to talk about certain things in my life. Not as much like still keeping it like for me, but like I found, especially recently, writing certain things down, like one, things just come back to me from my life that I didn't even remember were there. And two, it kind of helps me deal with it almost. So I
Could
don't
you
know if
have-
that answers your question, but
Yes, of course it does, because obviously there are some rappers, you know, like you see all the comments online. Now we're in a time now, obviously I'm pre-social media. We're in a time now when a rapper puts something online and then people put comments up, and if they might make a reference to politics, people say, well, you're not a rapper that should be talking about politics. So it's almost like the fans feel like they have a lot of, you know, say as to what an artist should say or shouldn't say. Do you know what I mean?
hey man, just say what you feel. Just say what
Yeah,
you
this is
feel.
my thing. And sometimes people are more worried about being censored, cancelled these days. So that's why I ask, like, you know, is there certain topics that you feel like you might not talk about? It's like, for argument's sake, like with Drake, he talks about a lot of females and relationship issues. Some rappers wouldn't do that because of how they might be perceived.
Got you. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So they want to give off the you know, the bravado, like, you know, I'm the man, I'm macho. They might not touch on certain girly topics. They want to just keep it all macho. They want to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how easy is it for you to still be yourself?
I never had that problem. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know what
yeah.
it is. I'll tell my story, even the stuff that's like not the fly stuff. Just because it's real. Me personally, I don't care what I'm writing down, or I don't care what I'm saying, as long as it's like genuine and real. And as soon as I write it down, I'll never record something until it feels 100% like I said what I wanted to say and I got it out.
Okay.
There's one line that I don't like, it's not getting recorded. Like every time.
Right. So how long you've been putting out music now? Like technically, how long have you been doing it?
I put out my first song in 2020. So about 4 years then. And it's been going good for about 2 of them.
Okay. And obviously we had the pandemic around that time, and that kind of, like, you know, jilted a lot of people's careers moving forward. Some
didn't
people
help.
even packed it up. They
Yup.
can't be asked.
Yup, that
How did
didn't
you
help.
feel around that whole time?
It was a tough time, but the blessing is, shout out to my producer, Cabby 96, the first track that we made together, because obviously, like, I had to kind of find my footing. I was doing, like, Instagram freestyles at the time, so just, like, Mob Deep beats, old school beats. Like, I would just write verses and, like, rap in front of a camera, because I didn't have a studio. I didn't know how to, like, I didn't have access to that growing up in my neighborhood. But then I got connected to him, and literally the first song we made together, called Thank You, like, had this surge of, like, listenership in, like, Germany, out of all places.
Oh, wow.
And it really did well. And then maybe like a year or two later, we, like, locked in on a project. And that was, like, right when the pandemic finished, and that was the first project. Everything me and this guy touched, it just seems
That's
like...
brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So how important is it to have a good support network of people around you?
That's the most important. Like, you can't... If you're out there and you want to rap, like, just know, like, it's important to know how to do certain things by yourself for a minute, but there comes a point where you can't do things by yourself. It just is what it is, and you need a good team, people you can trust. And
So
I'm lucky to have that.
in the 4 years, like we're almost like 2025 now, tell me about some of the key things that you've learned about how you control business, doing business in the last 4 years. Something that you'd like kind of like share with somebody upcoming. How would you... You know, what kind... I know everybody's journey is different, so somebody can't expect, just because they hear someone else's story, it's going to pan that way for them. But share us some, like, little pointers, what you think would be the right channel to go forward.
First of all, I'm going to say, like I said, kind of said this earlier, but first of all, I'm going to say, like it's... You're going to have to do things that you don't want to do sometimes. Like, you can't always just do the fly stuff. Like, the rapping is cool, but if you don't, like, know how to brand yourself and stuff, like, it's just, you just have to learn that, and you have to do it. The other unfortunate thing is, like, especially if you're starting, like, you're gonna lose. If you really want to do it, and you really want to do it, like, seriously and correctly, like, it's gonna lose money before it's gonna make money, like, for a minute. Don't quit your day job, work your job, and use it to fund what you want to do. Those are two main things I would say, but I would also say, I say this every time, like you're just as good before and after people knew you were good. So as long as you know how good you are and you believe in yourself, just keep... Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan before people knew he was Michael Jordan. So just keep going at it.
That's very fundamental, man. You got to believe in yourself, because I think some people are too worried about what other people think.
Absolutely.
And, you know, if you want to have that conviction, people have got to believe in you as well. You got to believe, like, sometimes it's having a balance, isn't it? Sometimes you can believe you're the man, but you don't want to be too overconfident.
Absolutely.
People think he's a bit obnoxious.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get it. But I like your aura. The energy's good because I'm an energy person.
Yeah.
So I like, listen, I meet so many people and you can tell when people's energy is cloudy, man.
I appreciate that.
No, we have to just keep it 100. I like?
Yeah, no.
I'm sure you've met people along your journey. You just think,
Hey.
oh man, it's just it feels like the storm today when they're around,
Yo,
right?
I promise you. But I'm glad my energy is good on this early morning
energy's
too.
good.
Like,
Energy's good.
Yeah.
And I believe in just keeping it 100. Stucky would tell you I'm very straight. Do you know what I mean? I've even stopped interviews before.
Really?
A couple of
Ooh, I like this guy. Yeah.
No, I have.
I like that.
I've done that a couple of times. I'm with big artists too. Big artists.
That's just standing on your integrity. I like that.
I like that. Yeah, because energy's everything, man. No, I like your energy. So how would you define yourself where rapping's concerned? What kind of artist are you?
I would say I'm a lyrical guy. That's the first thing I'm gonna say, and I'm a storyteller. I think that's my big thing is I'm trying to tell a story. I think my first thing when I started out is I just wanted to be the best rapper. Like I just wanted to show people I'm better than you. Like I was like, especially like starting out as a hooper, like that competitiveness was just like always in me. But then it reached a point. Cabby says this all the time, where it's like I didn't want to just rap about rap all the time. Right. So it's like I want to really say something. So to me, it's about doing both. Like on the lyrical side, making sure I'm punching up with the best of them. But on the storytelling side and on the artistic side, I'm not only telling a story, but I'm doing it in a way that I feel like I've never heard it done before.
Right.
You know?
And if we're talking about the best of them, in the last 10 years, who is the top 5 best of them?
Oh, man. Kendrick Lamar, for sure.
Okay.
Cole. Ooh, past 10 years.
Let's say the last 10 years.
10 years. Yeah. Okay. Man. I'm too much of a nerd for this question because I'm going to really think about it. Okay.
Go there.
Kendrick, Cole, Drake.
Okay.
Like who's
and from Canada too?
Yeah.
Do you know what? A lot of
yeah.
people keep forgetting he's from Canada. They do sometimes. It slips people's minds.
Absolutely.
They say he's American.
I might, even though they're a group, I'm tempted to say like there's 2 that I'm tempted to say, but I feel like they're gonna be hot takes. I'm tempted to say one, the Griselda Man them. As one.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I might. This might be a hot take, and I don't know if they're actually top 5, but they're up there for me. Like maybe like Earl Sweatshirt, only Griselda and Earl Sweatshirt because I feel like they like kind of carved out a niche that a lot of people are following. Like those, first of all, like Earl Sweatshirt, I feel like the whole drumless soul sample wave. Like I just feel like he was such a key part in that happening, and he's just. If you're really listening, this guy is rapping. Like a lot of people are not rapping, and the Griselda Man them too. So that's what I would say is my top 5 in this moment. Hearing that question right now.
I love that.
I can hear Krim disagreeing, but
he was frowning on a couple. Which ones were you frowning on? Which one was you frowning on?
Like for me, it's Tyler or Earl.
Oh, you know what? Tyler.
Tyler.
I would definitely say Tyler. Okay. Yeah. So we'll say the Griselda Man them and the Odd Future Band them. We'll say that. Yeah. Because they as a group. Yeah. Shout out Krim. I just heard him in the corner like.
No. The few of them, he was like,
he's like, no.
Well, it's just personal opinion, isn't it? It's just personal opinion.
I think he's right though.
You think he's right? Okay. With that being said, all right, J. Cole is definitely cool. We're talking about it. J. Cole's in the top 5. I mean, he's my favorite rapper in the last 10 years, easily. In that kind of situation that he was in, where they're just battling, which is the culture. Was that a good move for him to bail out?
Okay.
As an authentic hip hop artist.
So I feel like my opinion mirrors so many of the opinions out there, but it's genuine. Like I'm not just like saying this. Like
all right. No fencing.
Yeah, no. Like this is genuinely how I felt. Like I'm always gonna be real about it. Like as a man on some integrity stuff, I was like, I respect it because you felt like you did something wrong. You felt like you did something that was outside of yourself.
Yeah.
And you owned up to it and were like, I'm going to do what I can to correct it. So, like, as a man, I respect it. As a hip-hopper, it's conflicting because, like, there is a part of me that's just like, this is a sport.
It's a sport.
This is a sport.
It's a sport.
And he said what he said.
Yeah.
Just let it be.
Yeah,
let it be. Say what you got to say. And keep it. And we Hove and Nas are cool. to this day. So it's like not all the way the deep. I also do understand. I think where I give that credit though is this beef got a lot more personal. Like I feel like at a certain point, not all the way, but it got a lot more about being like personal stuff and airing out personal stuff than like just strictly like who's the best rapper. So that might have been what it was, but that's how I feel. There's a confliction. I respect it, but
you know what it is though, Thelonious? I'm gonna say something, right? And Stucky can definitely back me up on this.
Let's hear it.
We come from a generation where we don't even care. We say what you gotta say, and
That's
it's the
hip-hop.
coach, and it's hip hop, and it's also as well. You know, it's the brother and sister of dancehall culture, where we don't care. Blood is spilling. We don't care. We say what we gotta say. They'll say anything just to dissect their opponent. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I think nowadays there's just a bit like, you know, about the censorship.
Yeah. No, 100%. And also
They're
like
very careful.
Yeah.
About how much they want to hurt you.
Everyone's afraid of like what's gonna happen.
What's
if you
gonna
say
happen?
certain-
Yeah.
But
And
also it's like that's battle rap too.
That's battle rap. Yeah.
So I think people are just not as accustomed to that. So that's how I feel. Like on the sport of it, I was like, just say what you gotta say. Like let's watch the Clash of the Titans because we've been talking about the big three for so long. Like let's really like y'all duke it out and let's see who wins. But I also understand why he didn't.
And I'm gonna say this, and it's probably an unpopular opinion, but as much as people drill Drake, you know, I've got a lot of respect for him because he battles.
Yo. And
there's a lot of rappers who have been in this game from my generation have never had one battle yet. But they claim they're this and that, which is fair. But I'll give it to Drake. Yeah, people say he's the girls' rapper. He raps for the girls. But you know what? He hasn't backed down from a battle.
He could rap. And like really good too. Like I feel like people like I don't know if there's a perception that like he got washed. He did not get washed. They were going at it.
Yeah, but you win some, you lose some. It is what it is. And he hasn't battled no idiot rappers.
Never once.
No. We're talking Common.
Yeah.
People forget he battled Common. Rick Ross. Pusha T. These are
hitters.
Come on. You gotta give Drake some credit. I know people might not like him or whatever, but he's been good for the sport, I believe. He's been great for the sport. But anyway, forwarding on, it's good to get your take on that. Forwarding on, I don't know why people are calling me. They know I'm on the air, you know. Don't know. You know they don't agree with something that was just said. Yeah,
they're phoning you in like,
they're like,
what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Drake. Drake. Well, you're picking up Drake. No, come on, man. You got to give credit where it's due.
Shout out Drake.
So let's forwarding on. Your project at the moment. Tell me about this new project that you have.
Absolutely. So the new EP is called One Love. It's spelled 01 Love. Like it's like an address thing. But yeah, the whole project is about my family and just about growing up like with a black family. And now like chasing my dream is basically about the phenomenon of one chasing their dream in hopes to one day feed their family based on that dream. But as a side effect of the work that's required to get where you want to get to, you lose so much time with them today.
That's crazy. I love that.
It was really just, I was going through that at a time in my life after I made another project and like my music was getting a lot of attention that like new attention that I wasn't necessarily used to. And my real, like that was really what I was going through. Like less time with my family than I was used to in order to chase this dream. And this project just sort of, I spent 2 years on it. It was like a passion project for a minute. And I just really wanted to tell that story because I feel like anyone with a dream can kind of relate to that.
Yeah. Have they always been very supportive of what you do, like your family?
Always.
They love what you're doing?
Always, yeah. Especially my parents because they both like did it before me. I think they really wanted me to go to school and study jazz for a minute. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to be a rapper, yo. Yeah. But as soon as it started like working and they could see like people were showing it love, they're like, all right, we're just going to let him do what he does. And they're very proud now. So.
Oh, I love that. So Forever. Talk to me about this track Forever. Absolutely. And who is this artist, Kofi
Stone? Shout out to Kofi Stone.
I'm not familiar with Kofi Stone.
Yeah, he's a artist from out here from Birmingham. Shout out to Birmingham. Shout out to Kofi Stone.
And what's the link? Tell me about the link up with him.
Yeah. So we got connected a couple 2 years ago with this producer named Rebel Clef from out here. Shout out to Rebel Clef, legend. And we we just got cool. Shared some music with him. He liked it, and we've just been like chopping it up ever since. And we had this song, which was like the climax moment of the story that I was writing, and one that I knew could be like a special. It's the only song on the project with like no samples.
Yeah.
It's just live instrumentation. We got a live choir, everything in the room, and I knew that we needed a great verse for the second one. And he was like, "Yo, Kofi Stone's a good rapper out here." And he helped us make the connection. Kofi's a great dude, and it just kind of happened organically. And it's beautiful because he talks about his family members on the track too. And it just came out like, I love how it came. It's probably one of my favorite songs on the project. And it's the moment where one comes home like on Thanksgiving or Christmas or just on any holiday, with all those feelings in the storyline where it's like, I don't know if the love is fading or if I've been away so long and they don't know me, and you come home and you realize no matter where you go or how long you're gone, your family will love you forever.
Should we get it on this morning?
Let's do it.
I think we should get it on.
Let's do it.
And you know what? Huh? It's mad. So let's big up some of the listeners, please, before we
Love
go
to
any
all of
further.
y'all.
So you want to do that, Thelonious, from the top going down? Because I don't want to
My
be
glasses, though. I don't even got
you haven't
my
got your glasses?
Yeah, you might have to do it. I'm sorry.
We got Christine on the live. We got Sadiqa on the live. We got Leo Bar on the live. Who was I don't know what that says. I don't know what that says.
Gen X1?
Jeffrey Mate is on the live. We've got Lo Makabe on the live. We got San.
Definitely.
Okay. Nicki, Cardi B.
Nicki Minaj.
All day,
Nicki
every day.
Minaj for me. Yeah. Nicki
yeah.
Minaj for me.
Okay.
Paved the way for a lot of people. Shout out Nicki Minaj. That's a legend.
Okay. Steak and rice, jerk chicken, rice and peas.
Jerk chicken, rice and peas. Jerk chicken, rice and peas. In the West End, not the East. Shout out Big G's.
Is that little private joke somewhere? Yeah, that's a private.
Yeah, he thinks food's good on the East. Stop it. Shout out Big G's back home.
No, listen, man. You've been a great guest, man. You've been a great guest. So,
great.
what's the plans? For the rest of the time that you're here.
Honestly, a lot of just like peeping out the scenery, a lot of like these interviews, a little bit of recording.
Right.
We gotta see the sights too. We've just been in the crib watching Top Boy, so we gotta eventually go outside and see the sights.
So what have you managed to check out so far since you've been here?
We went to Soho House.
Okay.
There's a bunch of them, but we went to two of them. We went out and saw the city a little bit. I saw the city a little bit and almost got lost.
Yeah.
But and I was out in Sheffield with my family. Shout out to my family in Sheffield.
Oh, you got family in Sheffield.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's nice out there.
Yeah. Okay. They've been out there for years.
Yeah. And I think that's about it. Besides, like, just eating a lot of good food. The food is great out here. We're loving it.
Yeah, there's a lot of diverse food out here. Canada's really nice, though.
Yes, it is.
Canada. I've been in Canada a few times. Very nice. Toronto is very nice. People are very friendly.
Yes, they are.
How do you find the people in London?
People are friendly.
Yeah,
maybe I'm just like having the like right experiences. But even like I feel like the London folks are gonna disagree with me. But just coming from Toronto, I feel like y'all's drivers are really polite. Like. Personally,
the drivers are polite.
More polite than what I'm used to.
Where are you in Sheffield? You talking about?
In Sheffield, particularly.
Because in London, they don't play games.
I noticed it a little bit different.
Sheffield's different to London.
It's a little bit different in London.
Yeah, man will pull out something in London. Don't get it twisted. Road rage is a big thing in London.
No, absolutely.
I lie, Stock.
I was seeing it.
Road rage.
Yeah. But in Sheffield, they were like nice stopping for. I was like, yo.
Yeah. In Sheffield, they might say thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. But in London, nah, man.
Yeah.
You better put your pedal down, bro.
Move.
Yeah. So you're here. It's fine. Listen, you've been a great guest. Thanks for passing through, Thelonious.
Thank you for having me.
I wish you all the success from 25 going on. Any shows coming up that we should be aware of? Obviously, you're probably going to be in Canada.
Yeah. I got one in Canada. None as of right now out here, but we are working on that.
How do you find performing?
I love it.
I've watched some of your performances.
Yeah. I really do that. Like I'm a confident person and I stay humble, but I will say I really do that.
Yeah, I've watched you and I'm like, oh, he loves the stage.
I love the stage so much.
You give it your all on stage.
I hope to be out here like very, very, very soon performing. We're working on that, and I I hope you guys love what I do.
And when you do, please come back down here on the morning.
It's happening.
It'd be great to see you, man.
It's happening for
big
sure.
up yourself.
Thank you.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Socials. You just
That's right. So my socials, Instagram, Twitter, all that will be 2 underscores and then Thelonious, which is TheLonious. It's long. I'm sorry for putting y'all through that. And on all streaming platforms, just Thelonious. My recent project, One Love, is on there. My older project, Albion Road Demos, is also there, and there will be new music coming out very soon. Shout out to y'all for reminding me. I always forget to plug my socials, but yeah, that's where you can find me.
No, absolutely. He's been a great guest. So he wasn't expecting this, but I'm gonna talk to this man right here.
Let's do
quickly. Yeah, he wasn't expecting this. I'm gonna talk to him. This is what we do on Saturday. We just freestyle. Yeah. We just freestyle. We got Stucky in the building. And it's rare moments that Stucky's in my studio. It's rare. It's rare moments.
It's because next man dropped out, yeah?
It
is, isn't it?
Well, you can call it what you want, but we've spoken about this for a long time, and time is nigh. That's how we got about 15 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We could do 15 minutes.
We could do.
Yeah, we got another interview. So.
Yeah, that's fine. But do you know what it is, Stucky? While you're here, and I've never done this, and you know I've never done this. Let me just line this up, because you know I've never done this. That's what I love about this show. Because on mainstream, we probably wouldn't get away with this. You know we wouldn't get away with this.
Clean.
Yeah. So this is the realest that it gets. So this is your mic here. So yeah. Because you're used to this. So the thing is, I've been doing this show now 22 years, the Universal show. And been on radio nearly 25 years. But you're a name that is synonymous with my show.
Yeah.
Facts, right? In fact, from the time I've been on radio, before I started the Universal show in '02, your name has been synonymous with my show. Somebody whose names always gets mentioned on my show. And a lot of moments throughout the last 25 years has happened because of yourself. Now, I'm going to just refresh your memory. The reason why I'm saying this is because it's about giving people their flowers while you can give it to them. Why wait for another moment? Why am I going to say, do you know what? I'll do it in March next year. I'll do it in April. No, I'm going to tell you now. This is the moment. That's what I'm on.
Yeah.
Do it for the moment, right? So you're here. So there's a couple of key moments which will always stand out to me. You may or may not remember. And I know you can clarify it to the listeners. The first ever radio interview Robin Thicke done in this country was right here on a Saturday morning. Was because of this gentleman. Facts or false?
Facts, bro.
Facts. The first time One Wish by Ray J got aired in the UK, I used to be in a studio in Bermondsey. He remembers. Yeah. We're talking 15 years ago. He brought the tune down. He probably won't even remember. He brought it down on CD.
Yeah. I remember that now. Yeah.
One Wish, because he was doing the campaign. He went, special, I've got this tune I need you to champion. He interrupted my show and we dropped One Wish by Ray J. That was one of Ray J's biggest songs. Got championed on my Tuesday evening show because I used to do Tuesday evenings. There's been many, many, many more moments, but there's a couple of moments like that I just wanted to share. You are the man that's responsible for
50 Cent.
Yeah, 50 Cent, G Unit, they've all been to this show. Maya, tell them the names, Stucky. The names go on. We've had G Unit on the show. We've had the only person I didn't get to interview was 50 Cent, right? Wasn't allowed. No, we didn't. I didn't do 50 Cent.
You never.
No, I didn't do.
Over multiple times we did stuff.
Yeah, but I wasn't allowed. They said you had to go Trevor and Steve Sutherland, R.I.P.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, because of the Galaxy
Did you do Will I Am?
Yeah. I done Will I Am. Will I Am came to the show. Right. The point I'm getting to is they've been very key. Oh, Miss Dynamite, Estelle. Come on, the list goes on. The point I'm trying to get to is they've been key moments, but I don't want people to feel like I've just orchestrated that myself.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand how it works.
Yeah, so the reason why I'm into this is Stucky. For those of you that don't know, he's a massive radio plugger for the UK and international. So a lot of the artists that we just mentioned, he is the man behind these artists who get the DJs on radio and in the clubs to play the music. Stucky, welcome to the show this morning, please. Could you give it up for Stucky?
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
You know what I mean?
Usually behind the scenes. It's a
You're
bit
behind the
different for me.
scenes, and I'm putting you on the spot this morning, Stucky. What's that journey been like, my brother? Because you've been very instrumental in a lot of DJs, not just mine, a lot of DJs' careers.
You know, I was telling these guys some of like the history. It's just, I'm just blessed to still be here, like 30 years in the game, to be honest. Blessed to have the health and still be here and still being in a position to work with amazing talent like Thelonious, because I'm all about finding great talent, being involved in great talent and exposing it as widely as possible. That's the essence of what we do as radio pluggers, radio promoters. We're passionate. Everyone on the scene, everyone I know, first and foremost, we're passionate about the music. Just as you guys, as DJs, presenters, radio stations, are passionate about music. And the job is to marry the talent, the artist, with the outlets. And to spread the word, to get listeners to hear what we love, what we've heard, what, you know, as many people as possible. And I still have that passion. When I hear stuff like this, Thelonious, it's like, wow, you know, and that's what keeps me going in this game. Great music.
How could, just briefly, Stucky, because I know it's just a quick impromptu. How did you get into radio programming in the first game?
We need a whole show.
We're going to do it properly, but I just wanted to. How did you get into it?
I'll be real brief on it. My start in the game, I've always been into music as a teen. When I knew about what was involved. I mean, initially I wanted to produce. Everyone has that dream: engineer, produce, dabble in that bit. But when I knew a bit more about the background, the business side, I thought, you know, I want to get in the music industry. I want to be in that side of it. And the dream was to get into marketing, promotions. My first start, I got, you know, I big up Dome Records, one of UK's, you know, amazing soul R&B record labels from way back. They gave me my first job as just, you know, working at a record label and doing everything involved, including promotions, marketing, A&R, stuff like that. People like, you know, back then was Beverly Knight, Hill Street Soul. That was my first job. 2 years doing that, and somehow fell into the promotions thing where I was unfortunately made redundant, as happens in this game. And my colleague who was working there was also the same. Went to another company, a promotions company, and they said, look, they want to set up their dance label, dance company. They want to set up a kind of black music side of things. And that's how I got into it.
Wow.
You know?
And the rest is history.
Did that and then just went freelance, worked with some other guys. And yeah.
Do you still have the passion and zeal? I know you're saying, you know, when you come across artists like Thelonious, it still gives you that hope. But how's the journey been from like, well, how long are we talking now? What, 25 years?
30 years, bro.
30 years. 30 years.
It'll be 30 years next year, actually.
30 years. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know what? I've seen so many changes as you have in the business. When I started, it was vinyl.
Yes.
You know, we'd be posting, you know, mailing out vinyl to DJs and radio stations back then. Then it was CDs. Then in the early 00s, it got digital. Now, literally, my office is my laptop and a good internet connection. That's the difference. I had an office back in the day. One thing I'll say real quick, a sentence that sums up how things are now to compare to how they were is a lot of music, oversaturation in some cases of music, not as much quality.
Yes.
It's you've got to, there's, you know, way back when you had to really search to find the music. There wasn't as much. It was like digging in the crates was the expression you used, right? But now it's so much consumption. There's so much music. It's too much music. And it's finding, and obviously dealing with media, they get so much. So it's all about, and what I do is about relationships with people like yourselves to kind of cut through all that hundred. How many pieces of music you would say you get sent a week? Hundreds.
Bro, I get at least 40 tunes a day.
There you go.
40 tunes a day.
Our relationships that we have for how many years, and the relationships I continue to build with the younger people who are coming into the media side, is the key element to kind of get the music I'm working with listened to. Even.
Yes.
Let alone someone actually playing it, and then beyond that, like, can we do an interview? So it's a lot of hard work in some ways.
Yeah.
I mean, it always has been, but it's different.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Yeah, quantity, not enough quality.
Yes.
And because the music is so accessible now, people. So, from your experience, even though you've been, strongly involved in club and radio promotion, is radio that important now?
I still think it is. Some would say not as important as other elements like social media. Obviously, the whole trending thing. Obviously TikTok is quite key now. As an artist, you have to be across socials. It's funny because it's like when I'm working with the bigger stations, it's like to try and get to the level where you can get considered for daytime playlist day.
Yes.
They're like, well, what's going on with the campaign? What are the numbers?
Well, it's
What's
fun-
the streaming numbers?
That is so true.
How many followers they got and what else is going on? What else? Yeah, it's a good song, but we need a bit more, because we've got this one over here who's got 10 million this or
But then
whatnot.
that's crazy stuff because that was still the case. You know why that still makes sense what you're saying? Because one of the reasons why you came to me to play Lost Without You, Robin Thicke, because Choice FM at the time said it was too slow for daytime. Remember,
I remember that.
Yeah. That's why you came to me.
Wow.
You said, I think you went to someone at the station and you said, I've got this track, Robin Thicke, Lost Without You. They was like, but that's too slow for daytime radio. We can't even put it nowhere. But
Yeah, there was that element.
Yeah. We
Back
can't
then,
put
they
it nowhere.
were-
So he thought,
very
do you know what? Okay, I'm going to go to the community station. Let me go Special K and play it. The rest is history. It's if not one of his biggest songs.
And then obviously went on to have the even bigger hit.
With the blurred lines.
With the blurred lines, yeah. I mean, a similar story. I used to manage Estelle back in the day.
Yeah.
And I remember when I went, said same station, Choice FM. And back then, trying to get UK, that one great thing about now is how our scene is so amazing, where UK music is at the forefront. Because when I started, it was a struggle. You
Yeah.
had to compete with American, the media, the radio stations, especially the bigger ones, were like, no, we're supporting, it's not good enough.
Yes.
UK stuff's not good enough.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
reason. I
yeah.
remember working with Estelle at the time, we couldn't get it across.
Yeah.
And then much later on, when she obviously got the American Boy, it's all over the playlist.
It's all over the playlist, yeah.
So
It's
it's
still the
amazing
same.
what a difference a few years made, and now even, however many years later, you look at all the majors. There's all these UK acts, which are. It's funny where some of the younger radio people I've come across, and I try when I'm working on US or music from other places. Oh no, I only play UK. That's a real curveball.
That's
because
mad.
20 years ago, it would be the opposite. It was the opposite.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And
But
do you know
it's great.
and
It's
do you know what I
great.
don't like
It's
about that? I'll tell you what I don't like about that, because from my generation, we play music.
Yes.
Yeah, don't tell me
Yes.
about I'm only going to play UK music,
that's-
because there's a lot of doo-doo that comes from the UK.
Yeah.
That's facts. And there's a lot of doo-doo that comes from America. I say support good music.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming
matter
from.
where it's from.
Doesn't matter where it's from.
It could be from
Do you know what I mean?
Timbuktu.
So you have these people that
It's
just
about
have
good music.
they have UK R&B shows only, but when you check out what they're playing, it's a load of crap. No, let's be real.
Well, it goes back. It goes back to what I'm saying about quality.
Quality control.
No matter where.
Yeah,
it comes
quality
from, it's about
control.
quality.
Yeah, please. So, but do you know what? I thought I just wanna shed some light on you this morning, man.
I was gonna say, where's? Can I say his name?
No.
okay.
No. It's
Anyway,
rescheduled. It's
Yeah,
rescheduled.
okay.
It's
So-
good. It's good.
So yeah, it was a bit of a curveball for me.
Yeah. No, it's fine. We do that sometimes,
But
bro.
we need to do a thing where I'm prepared. I can, talk about some anecdotes, have a few notes, refer to, bring on certain tunes that were kind of.
That you champion.
Yeah, we need to do. Have a
No,
special-
we're gonna.
special-
Should we do it next year then? 2025.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Should we?
need to-
Should we do
well,
that?
It's
For
30 years next year, so yeah.
Let's
bring it
celebrate
out.
30 years next year. We'll get you in here and we
yeah,
can
yeah.
sit down some of the tracks that you've pushed over the years. But as I said, you know what I mean? I'm giving you your flowers.
A little pre-business.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Respect
Because
for
you know
that
that.
still.
Do you know what it is as well? Like, you know how I stay stuck. Like this journey that I've been on for 25 years, radio, and then obviously 30 years in the clubs as well. The thing is, a lot of people just think that, yes, because I'm steering the ship, I've done it all on my own.
Yeah.
It's been a movement. And I feel like a lot of DJs, I mean, they've got their own journeys. I'm not here to put anybody down, but I'm saying they will try and put out the perception that they've done everything by themselves.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, they want all the glory. Yeah, I did this. Yeah, it's my crowd, and I got the artist here. No, you didn't. Someone got the artist for you. Don't do that. We know about the time when we was in clubs and you had to pay for artists to turn up for personal appearance.
Yeah.
But certain DJs would made out that the artist came down to see me. No, they didn't. The management paid for the artist to come down. We know all the stories.
It's all about perception.
Yes,
isn't it?
perception, yeah. And I give the real perception because I'm pre-social media. Right? Understand? So I'm just keeping it real. People like yourself,
that.
no.
Respect that.
People like yourself need to be given their props, given their flowers and the gardens, because you've helped me and you've helped my show be one of the
Bro,
longest
it's
standing
mutual.
shows.
It's mutual.
You understand?
Without guys like yourself, we couldn't do what we do.
Come on, bro.
You know?
Come on.
So it's a mutual thing, you know.
Yeah, and
Respect
I'm
to
just
you still.
grateful that I still have a show and a platform that people still want to tap into.
Because it's vibes there. It's vibes. I mean, you could just ask Thelonious what he thought of, the experience he's had with you this morning.
Yeah,
you know?
you like the experience, bro?
That was great.
So-
Yeah, thank you, man.
and
Thank you.
everyone I've ever brought to you.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
That guy, he's really good. And we've talked about this,
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's not an interview.
No.
You're having a conversation.
Having a conversation.
It's a reasoning.
Yeah, yeah. Look, there's
So
no script.
That's why we love that.
Can't
you know?
say this. Can't
Did you read the
answer.
bio?
Did that? I don't even read the bio. Why? Why? I don't read no bio. You know, Thelonious, you go to some interviews, right? This is the truth. Not saying you've had that experience, but here they start. Right, so here we have an artist in the
Verbatim,
studio.
verbatim.
His name is Thelonious. He was born in 1982. And they read out everything. And then by the time they ask the question, there's nothing to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it already.
You said it already.
But I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
not everyone's like you, sir. Not everyone's
Well,
like
no,
you.
yeah, well, I'm Indian special, isn't it?
See it there? See it there? Big up. Everyone's different.
I'm Indian special, isn't it? I'm Indian can't change. No, but listen, Stucky, is there any networks where people can get hold of you for people that are young, inspiring, want to get their
so-
music to you?
Similarly, socials. It's Insta is _play_center. Sorry about the underscores, but the other way was taken. So it's the play center, _play_center, and it's CENTRE if you're, in America or wherever. And what's the other one? So I think X is the play center.
Play Center.
So yeah, just. check
Is
us
there
out on
any
socials.
type of genres of music that you're not prepared to listen to, or is it any
No,
genre of music?
any-
You don't mind. You don't mind. You're
Any genre of black music, man. We're
Right.
about black music. so,
okay. That's great.
know,
That's great.
everything. Afro, R&B, hip hop,
You name it.
dancehall.
Just good music.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
you know what? Technology and so much has changed in the industry, but the bottom line, it always comes down to the music.
Yes. Yes.
Good music will travel.
100%.
That's not, and I don't think will ever change.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot.
I'm not gonna do any freestyle, bro.
Oh,
Sorry.
damn. I was thinking, it's Christmas. We could have got Stucky to do a little freestyle. You've been around enough rappers. So
I know you're joking. That's not me.
Who would you say has been one of the best artists for you to work with over the 30 years?
Oh wow, now that is put me on the spot.
You really enjoyed working on that project.
Okay, I'm not gonna say because there's been a lot of highlights. I'll say two highlights. One kind of at the glitzy level, and one a little bit more down to earth.
Okay.
So the glitzy level was going on tour with 50 Cent on the Massacre tour.
Yeah, I remember.
Across the country, and
Yeah, it was
each
crazy.
city that we went to, we were setting up interviews with not just 50, but the whole of G Unit. So that's each individual member. Mobb Deep, Mace,
MOP.
DJ. What's the DJ? Who's DJ?
At the time, Green Lantern.
No, not Greenland.
Who's DJ talking?
Who Kid?
Oh, Who Kid at the time. Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
8 or 9, and Olivia.
Oh, yeah,
in
Olivia.
each city in the country.
Yeah.
8 or 9 interviews in different rooms.
Yeah.
Multiple. Big up Colin Gale was then head of G Unit. Between myself and him, we were like arranging everything for the next day each night. So that's that level. The other level, driving around raw ears to interviews. Raw ears in my little coupe back then.
That's
back in the day.
crazy. That's
like
crazy.
legend of like someone who I was used to rave to, just love his music. Really lovely guy.
Roy Ayers.
Yeah.
50 cents. I mean, you can't. Yes, enough
But
said.
there's been many. That's
There's
just
been many.
two.
There's enough said. But listen, Stucky, have a great day. Whatever you
too,
deciding
brother.
to do.
Respect.
How you spending the
as
Christmas?
always.
How you spending the Christmas? Yeah.
Collapsing. Music industry, Christmas is our time where we rest. Only time in the year, really.
Yeah.
Unless you're an artist manager and your artist got some big shows to be doing in December. The rest of us, 3-4 weeks lockdown.
Yeah.
Just relax, switch off.
So listen, I need you guys to introduce the next song. Thelonious, I need you to do it too.